Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Behind the Groove podcast. I am DJ Keo.
And I am Basil Barrington, and we are back with another film review. Today, we are going to take a look at Highest to Lowest. This is an Apple TV original. Didn't this was in the theaters first, right? For a little
No,
bit?
I think it was just on. I don't think it was. I think it was straight to TV.
Okay. So I did a little research on this. And
Mm,
this is the original film was called High and Low. I think it came out in 68 or 38. It's a Japanese film. It's about
okay.
a rich guy whose chauffeur's son gets kidnapped and they have to pay the ransom. So it's sort of like it's the same thing. You know what I'm saying? It's an
Yeah,
adaptation of it,
yeah.
right? It's also like an adaptation of the original book as well. This is a Spike Lee joint with Denzel Washington and a lot of different people. Man, I always say this, when you have a lot of like A-list sort of actors in the film,
Yeah,
that says a lot. That says a
There's
lot.
enough.
That mhm,
This is probably supposed to go to theaters, but there's
mhm.
enough actors in there that you expect a level of quality. Like I saw Jeffrey Wright, and I was like, okay, all right, Denzel too. Okay, this is
Jeffrey
probably be
Wright was in
something
it.
interesting. Yeah, so I
Mhm,
was, you see that these are two leads. I'm like, well, this will be something interesting at least at a minimum. Should be something. I was wrong. All right, I was very wrong. This
who-
movie. Okay, forget the fact that both of us been in the music industry. We both seen some things.
yeah.
We know how things are supposed to work. Um, this movie is one of those movies written by somebody who's just trying to get a task done, like get the actor from A to B, and it doesn't. You don't. They haven't fully realized how you get to A to B, and so like they start doing stuff that makes less and less sense the longer it goes on. Like like I. I've been in a bunch of real studios with famous people in there, very, very famous people on the radio, famous people,
Mhm.
and I've never seen a studio in the hood with nobody in there. I've never
Dude,
seen that.
listen. Okay.
Somebody's smoking weed outside, yo. Somebody's
Yo,
outside.
listen, man, the times I've been in studios, hood studios, you're not, it's just not you and someone else. Okay,
It's
so I
not.
will say this.
Yeah.
Um, Before when I used to go into the studio, sometimes like
Mhm.
if all the like everyone came and they laid down their tracks, everything else, then when it's
Yeah,
time to
people leave
mix,
and come go. Yeah, yeah.
once it's time to mix the track down, like I don't need any more vocals or anything like that. It's just me and the engineer. Or if or if I'm doing
Sure.
mastering, it's just me and the engineer. But if you
Sure,
go in
sure.
a hood studio, it's 10, 12 people in there. People are smoking weed. You got
Minimum.
your crew outside. You got a crew at the
Right?
door. You know what I'm saying? And yo, who pulls up
Nobody's at
in,
the door.
who pulls up in a hood in the PJs? You don't know anyone. No one knows you. Like in a Rolls Royce and not get
In a
jacked.
Rolls Royce, and
Come on.
nobody's like, wait a minute, I know that guy. He was just on the news. Like nothing. Like, listen, my
Mhm,
experience in this, I haven't lived in New York long, not as long
mhm,
as a lot of other people, but I've been in New York, right?
mhm,
New York is not quiet at nighttime.
mm-mm,
It is not.
mm-mm.
And I don't care what 4 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the 6 o'clock in the morning. New York is buzzing still.
Yeah.
So the fact that a Bentley, Rolls Royce, drives through the projects, not the upstate whatever project, the actual projects, and
In the
nobody's
Bronx.
out. Yo,
Mhm.
whose car is this?
Yeah.
Whose man is this? What
Come
you
on.
doing out here?
You know?
Nobody. He gave this
And
guy what is it, $100 or something like that. He's like, wash my car, and that's the end of that. Like, come on,
he's like, here's a
stop,
yard, And here's the other
stop.
thing, right? Okay.
Mhm.
So let's get to like, okay, so he's a music mogul, right? Okay. So he works in hip hop, and let's just say he works exclusively in hip hop, but he also does a little bit of R&B. Okay, so the film actually feels a lot like Empire
Empire,
on steroids. You know what I'm
the
saying? So
nonsense of Empire. Yeah.
yeah. So okay, you are a label owner, a big label owner. You got like 50 Grammys. You probably made 100 million, like you were saying offline. And
Mhm.
yo, again, you're a hip hop label. You mean to tell me you don't have any goons you can call up like, yo, I got beef?
Not
You
a
don't have a
single
goon
dude.
squad?
You don't know nobody.
You don't have a
You don't
bunch
call
of
in no
like
favors.
you don't have a bunch of young skinny cats that's ready to wreck shop?
Right?
You know what I'm
Some
saying?
some young cat that you wants to get signed and he can't do. Listen, again, this is my experience.
Hmm.
When I'm in the studio, there's a lot of people outside that are
Hmm.
thirsty to get on board, get on whatever
Hmm.
you're doing. I'll do
Hmm.
that for you. Oh, you want me to catch some bullets for you? I got you,
Yeah.
fam. Like I got you.
Just
Take care of
tighten up,
my mom. I
yeah.
go do that
Yep.
for you,
Take care of
bro.
my
I got
moms. You know what I'm
that's
saying?
it. That's what that is, all right?
Hmm.
Especially rap. If you was making jazz or some other thing and this happened, I'm like, okay, cool. But
Everyone would be
rap
like,
music?
dude, no, no, mm-mm.
No.
No.
No,
It's just
no,
like,
no.
I mean, even when we were coming up, you had a crew coming up, right? Dude,
Yeah.
you had your main crew. So I had my main crew, it was me and my four MCs. And then we had
Mhm.
everyone else around us, maybe 40 or 50 other people who was just part of the crew. We had like young cats who would just go out and wreck shop, like, yo, go do that. They would just wreck it.
Yeah.
That was just basic hood stuff. You know what I'm saying? Someone
Right?
touch you, you gotta go touch them.
Same level. You taking L's. If I took an L, you're taking an L. I
Yeah,
got it was so weird to me how this guy as is the top of the pyramid of a record label, like a giant record label. He's got
Hmm.
assistants and stuff like that, and he doesn't know anybody to go do the stuff for him. That's crazy.
Dude.
That's absurd. That's it. It took the problem with this movie is like I know enough about the music business that it took me out of it instantly, like from the
Yeah,
beginning.
it didn't make
Like
any
you
sense, you know what I'm
you
saying?
walk through the front door and you own a you listen. This guy's large enough to own a record label in a building, a giant building, skyscraper type building
Hmm.
downtown New York
Hmm.
City,
Yeah.
and he's walking through the front door
No.
and people are mobbing him to sing songs to him when he walked through. Unheard of.
Yeah, I
There's a lot.
mean,
Listen,
yeah.
executives have some backdoor that you have never heard of or seen them before,
Come
and
on.
you got to walk in. Okay, to get into a label, you got to get through security first, and then you get to the elevator part. Then you got to sign in. So see,
Mhm.
this girl's singing to you at the part where you got to sign in. She wouldn't get past the front door.
She brought a
Labels
guitar with her too.
labels deal with so much BS of people trying to rob people, trying to get into the label, trying to meet somebody famous. Because there's actors and all kind of stuff that are in the label in the building. All right.
Yeah.
There's
Mhm.
famous people in the building. So security is at an all-time high, especially for rap labels. You can't
Dude.
walk in there
Nope.
without knowing somebody. Someone's got to walk you in, and then you got to sign in with your ID and get through the front door, then get through security, and then go up the elevator to the second floor, whatever the next floor underneath that. You can't do
Yeah.
that. These
You,
people, if they were outside trying to meet him, I'm like, sure. Inside trying to meet him, absurd.
no,
That is absurd. Especially somebody's won 50 Grammys and that kind of stuff. There's no way that he would let random people be in his lobby. They can get to him. That's absurd. And then this guy has no security for his kids? What? He's at
like
basketball camp for
you
Rick Fox and there's no security there? Those are
you
other rich
are
people's kids.
Rick
Oh
Fox.
my
But you
god.
know, here's the weird thing,
Yeah,
right?
okay.
So
Yeah, yeah.
even when we even both of us we have been in the music industry.
Mhm,
Even when you went to labels, even when someone said, "Okay, come to my office and present," right?
mhm. Yeah, yeah.
You got there. So let's say you go there with your whole crew, right? You know, you go there with your main crew and like maybe five other people with you. They'd be like, "Yo, they can't come in." First of all, right? So it's
Yeah,
a
he
certain
cannot
number of
come in.
people, right? It's a
Yeah.
certain number of people can come in. Then when you are in the A&R's office, right?
Mhm.
And knowing that, you know, okay, these guys are from the street, whatever, right? Generally, they got like, goons like right in their office, just sitting back, waiting, like, you want to start something? We gonna, we here, And I'm just like, okay, so,
Yes.
and the other thing is this, right? You are a person,
Mhm,
you have $100 million company, not to
mhm.
mention, you have a board of directors. So the board of directors didn't say, yo, listen, this is our cash cow. Let's make sure that this person comes in through the back door. We have an elevator for him. He has an
Yeah,
elevator right up
they
to the
would build it
office.
if it didn't exist.
Yo, dude, he has like real security on him 24/7, not just one cat. You got two
Yeah.
cats with him. Not to mention, those cats should be like 6'8", 6'9". Man,
Ew,
we
they're
used to
big
go into
boys. Coolies
offices
out there.
and like there were like guys just standing around in the A&R's office, right?
Mhm.
And it would
Yeah.
just be a guy who was like 6'9", wouldn't even say anything to you.
Just
Just
chilling. Just
standing
chilling.
there with shades on in all
Mhm.
black, not saying anything. And you just knew, it was just like you got five skinny cats in there, right? It's just like,
There's somebody in the building. That's what I'm saying, like, for
yeah.
somebody that for him, the way they're trying to explain this guy's on a Puff level. He's in a Diddy level, or
Mhm.
for owning a label, a giant label, right?
Right.
So, the odds that he doesn't have his own private security, and not
It's
I'm not talking
crazy.
about his driver, who's
Mhm.
also 60 years old.
Right.
Absurd. I'm talking about, like, he has actual security. He cannot walk through New York.
No.
You can't do it. The owner of a giant record label with 50 Grammys? You can't walk through New York
Yeah.
anywhere. You go. I'm gonna go to the Starbucks real quick and get. No, you can't do that.
No.
Those days of doing that are over. You can't. This absurd. Your
You
kid's
know,
gonna have security, like the president.
yo, the
You're gonna have
wifey's
your
got to
own
have
security.
security. I mean, there's
Why
got
does
to
it
be
have
security
security?
at the door. Like just someone
Yeah,
at your front door just standing around. They come in shifts. You know what I'm saying? Um,
yeah.
and the other really interesting thing about this is so you have this mogul, right? And
Mm.
the film actually looked really great. It was a beautifully shot film. I mean,
It
Spike
look.
is going to give you that, right?
Yeah, there's
But
a. I got. Yeah, I'll talk
but
about
what
it
I
after. Go
but
ahead.
what I was thinking was I was like, okay, so Denzel, he's moving a little differently. I mean, we know he's 70 years old. He's moving a little differently. Um,
Mhm.
and I'm just like, oh, okay, this is I don't know. This is it felt like the last hurrah sort of film. It just felt like that. It felt like, okay, this is it, guys. It's the last film. Let's do
He's
it.
getting a
You
check.
know what I'm
Yeah, yeah, he's
saying?
just getting a check. That's what it felt like.
Yeah, so
I know watching this guy listen to James Brown in his car and start doing fist pumps and stuff like that.
come on.
I'm
Come
like,
on.
"Yo, you're 70, man.
Dude,
You're not
come
the
on.
equalizer. You're 70. It
Yeah.
looks like you 70." And then, okay, well, I'll just say this: like the movie looked good.
Hmm.
Acting was atrocious. It
Oh
was
my
bad.
goodness.
Acting
For
was
those big names, you
abysmal.
know what I'm saying? For real.
But that's what I'm saying. Like this movie looked like everyone was just taking a check because it was for Apple. And they're like, just cut me my check. I'll say these lines. I'm getting out of here. That's what it looked like.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, the soundtrack was taking me out of the movie.
Oh, dude.
Every time I listened to it, I'm like, with the piano and everything, I'm like, I was like, this doesn't fit what's going on right now.
Yeah.
It
You
doesn't.
know.
It doesn't because he had like some orchestra that was doing like I get the concept, but it didn't fit. Like it really, especially for the type of movie it is, the music. It would have made more sense that you're playing music from the artist on the label. That would
Mhm.
have been interesting or whatever. That made it more fit.
Right.
But the symphony playing the music while he's fighting the guy ASAP Rocky on the train, laughable. It looked like it reminded me of Charlie Brown Christmas. Like that's what it felt like. And
Mhm.
they're fighting each other on the train with their guns. And like this guy climbs on top of the train like he doesn't know where he's at. Like there's a thing that's coming up where I gotta get down. I thought he was gonna jump off. I was like,
I
okay,
thought he was
cool.
gonna jump onto like, it was
Yeah,
just like
yeah,
where
yeah,
the
hold
guys
on
were
to the
playing
thing. I was like, okay,
basketball, you know
cool.
what I'm saying? Yeah, so
Dude, this is your neighborhood. You know where you are. Like
yeah.
you don't know there's a thing coming up. You got a tunnel. Being up there for that long is stupid. Like you should have just climbed over and then get down. And you're good to go. Get off the
And
next
it,
stop.
and
Out of
and the
here.
other thing is like, okay, so I mean, how fast can you run in like, a double
And
hill
Timberlands.
Tim's, you know what I'm saying? This is how fast are you running? You got the double hill original joints on the New York joints, right? It's just like, no, you're not running. Oh,
Got
yo,
the
and they're
cream
loose.
cords, yo.
And they're loose. You're not running, dude. You
You
gotta take
can't
them
tie
off,
it
throw
for
them over your back.
Timberlands.
Yeah.
None of my Timberlands are tied up. They're all open still because
No,
I've
that's
been in
what
New
I'm
York too
saying.
long.
Even today, you gotta like, yo, those joints are uncomfortable, but they're cool. You don't tie
Yo,
them
they
up.
look
You
tight,
know what I'm saying?
right?
They're
You can't
heavier
tie
than
them up,
lugs.
right?
And the other thing is this. I think this. I always say this
Yeah.
about films, right?
Mm,
When you
mm,
start bringing in actors like names, you know what I'm
mm,
saying? And then you start playing music like, that's pre-recorded music, like from like
Yeah.
the 60s and 70s and 80s, all this old stuff, right? That to me, when
Yeah.
you do that, that feels like, okay, you kind of like saw like the final cut of the film and you were like,
And
yo,
you're like, we
we
gotta fix this. Yeah,
we
yeah.
need
You're
some
like,
music.
there's a
Let's get
James
people
Brown
in,
song in there. This
because it's
don't work.
always like, when when you go to like the theater and, and you're in the theater
Mhm.
with a bunch of black people and then they play one of those songs and like, oh, this is my song. They start
Yeah, yeah. It's
dancing and
like,
everything. I'm like, oh my,
oh.
I'm out, dude. Here's my
Yeah,
popcorn. I'm
yeah,
out. You know what I'm saying? I don't
yeah.
want to,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't want to be around that while I'm watching a film. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
don't want to be
Yeah.
around that, And again, when you start bringing in these A-list actors and actresses, it's just like, hey, okay, something is wrong here because you're saying, hey, let's give this
I
guy money.
can't.
Maybe he can fill the void or whatever, right?
I can't figure out
Um,
how this movie became so bad. Because I have questions, right?
mhm,
Because like this is not Spike Lee's first movie. It's not Denzel Washington's first. It's not Jeffrey Wright's first movie. A
mhm,
lot of these people are I've been seeing them in commercials or movies or whatever. A lot of the people with this terrible acting was in something before that I
yeah,
know of, right?
mhm,
So I'm like trying to figure out what happened here. Now I think that this movie was something else, and they've polished it up and turned it into this thing. That's what I feel. I feel like this is a rewrite, re-edit kind of feel. And so cuz the music doesn't fit, the dialogue doesn't fit for a lot of sections of it.
yeah,
And then the ending is just crazy. The
yeah,
ending of good Denzel going to see this guy in jail and listening to him pitch him like you should sign me. Why on earth would I sign you?
yeah.
Bro, I'm never
And,
gonna sign you. You ruined my
and,
life. What are you talking
and
about?
here's the biggest part right here, right? So
Mm,
the guy Aesop Rocky, he's like 35 in the film. First of all, Aesop Rocky, ASAP Rocky, I just didn't
yeah.
like his acting. He played himself basically. He played like
He
what he
plays by
how
himself.
yeah, he played
Yeah.
what he would be on the streets, and then you had Ice Spice. I'm like,
Mhm.
yo, she played her role was 1 minute. That's it, 1 minute. But she got a SAG
Unnecessary.
card,
Right.
so you got to give her that. She got a
Yeah, yeah,
SAG
like,
card. You
it
know
was
what I'm
just a
saying? For
setup.
real.
Somebody
Right?
called in a favor, and they're like, "Yo,
Yeah,
get this girl in this movie. Get her a
exactly.
credit." Yeah, that's
Mhm.
what happened.
I do appreciate the fact that Spike Lee said, "Yo, you know what? I'm gonna shoot this in Brooklyn." So it was basically a Brooklyn film. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah. I
But
I like the location for sure.
yeah,
The location
yeah.
was really good. Yeah.
But okay, so this 35-year-old guy
Mhm,
who's like just whatever, right? He put together
mhm.
a plot to extort $17.5 million from a music mogul.
Yes.
And again, this is just life, and he's alive.
Mhm.
Okay.
Right?
Because if this happened to like death row or like bad boys or who knows, right? It would have been problems. I'm just
It would have ended poorly for him. That's the
yeah, it
thing.
would have been
That's the reason why people don't steal people like that. You
yeah.
steal a low level rapper, they get your chain taken, someone steals your car, yada yada yada. Some guy at the top of the pyramid gets stolen like that from a wannabe rapper, obscene, unheard
and
of.
and then okay, so he says, hey, he wants 17.5 million. Not quite sure why the 17.5 million. He also wants it in Swiss marks, thousand
Yes,
dollars. I'm like, I understand that. How did he know that? Hey, 100,000. In Swiss marks, it'd be like lighter. I don't know how he knew that. And the other thing is, you mean to tell me he put the entire crew together so they can start doing this switcheroos on like motorbikes? Come on, dude.
I
Come on.
laugh because
Come on. They're
here's the
not that
thing, right?
smart.
The police capture one of these motorbike guys and they'll squeeze and start talking
That's
because they
it.
weren't getting caught up in this. I just had
Right.
tampons in my bag. I don't get wrapped up in this. This is a murder. I went to
Yeah.
this. Like, this is it. Like, these guys would still squeal in a heartbeat. Those
Mhm.
motorcycle guys, you get unreliable. The fact that you had to, okay, it was bothering me the whole time I was watching the movie. How did they know what backpack he had? What the backpack looked like? How would they
Oh,
know that?
because um young felon, he was like, yo, and I want the money in a Jordan backpack. He said that, right? He
Okay.
said he
Okay.
said that's what he wanted, right? And so
Well,
again,
like, what if he brought a blue Jordan backpack? You didn't see what
yeah,
color.
right. I think he said a black Jordan backpack. He did specify like
Okay.
exactly where he wanted. However, right, they
Okay.
put a
All
little
right.
bug in the joint, right? So
Mhm.
they didn't exactly let us know how
Mhm.
they figured out that the money was in Oh Boy's apartment, And again, we know that there was a tracking system in it, right? So the guy
Yeah.
wasn't smart enough to say, "Hey, you know what?
They didn't have time.
Let's take
They
this
they
out."
were
And here,
running. They're doing the switcheroo with the backpack. How'd you have time to go look through the backpack and figure out which one's got the tracker in there? How
yeah,
would you know that?
and then when old boy went there, and then saw like old girl had on the like bracelet, I was like,
Yeah.
it's over, dude. It's
Mhm.
there were a lot of things that were missed in this film. To be this type of film, a lot of things were missed. Like first of all, like when David King came to the hospital and he was like, listen to this, like. In any sort of investigation, police
They were like,
they'll
"Yes,
let's go check
let
it
me check
out.
it
You
out.
know what I'm
Let's
saying?
go check
Because
it
if
out."
that's what they did, this film would have been over.
Yeah,
And
you said like this guy comes in there. The kid tells him while he's on the bed, he kept playing this song. He said these lines in there. This
mhm,
guy has evidence. You were in the room when the kid said this. Like, this is the
mhm,
song. He comes
yeah.
in. This is the song. I got the song. Nah, we don't need that. Don't worry about it. What?
And here's the other thing, right? Okay, so he got the
Yeah, yeah.
money. Let's just say
Mhm.
he got the money. He came back to his girl's apartment. He was just like, yo, he just put it under the bed, right? And then he just went back out. First of all, dude, you are dirty. People are looking for you. And you're just walking around, going to the studio, this, that, and the other. The other
Rapping.
thing is, like, who's gonna like, where are you gonna go with like $17.5 million in Swiss marks or whatever it is?
How are you gonna convert? You're a
Yeah,
street dude with tattoos on your face. How are you gonna convert
right.
this money? And the
Exactly.
bank's
You
gonna be
know what I'm
like,
saying?
"Oh, somebody was Swiss, 17.5 million. Where
They'll
did
be
they get
like,
that
oh,
from?"
yes, so we'll help you out. They'll be like, we'll just go back and get you a check. We'll be right back. They'll be calling the
Yeah,
police.
that
Next thing
that's
you know.
that's movie magic nonsense. You go to a bank with anything above $1,000 that's cash, and they got questions. The bank's got questions for you,
They
and
missed a
then they're
lot
gonna hold
here.
that money. Yeah.
Mhm.
Anything above that, they're gonna hold that money, and then you're gonna get an interview from police before you can do anything. It don't matter who you are. Anything above a certain amount, especially in the millions, that's ridiculous.
They
I
missed a
remember I
lot
got
here.
when I I was in the music business, I got a large check, and I tried to put that in the bank, and I was like, I went to the teller, I was like, "Here you go," and she looked down like, "All
Mhm.
right,
Mhm.
let's go in the back and have a chat real quick." The bank
Yeah.
manager, I listen. I was like, "But it's a oh, oh yeah,
Mhm.
that's right. That makes sense." I was like, "What are
Well,
we doing here?"
here in America, anytime you deposit $10,000 or more, like is
Oh,
the
the bank,
treasury gets a ding. They're like, hey, this
they
person did
ask
that, right?
questions. They
Yeah.
ask
So
questions.
yeah,
Trust me
and
on that.
the other thing is like even when I deposit like sort of large checks, they'll say, oh, only this amount is available now. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
yeah, you
saying?
can't just get cash for it or whatever. Like
Yeah, it's just like
they
you
gonna
can't
put
go
this in
there
a
with a twenty
hole.
thousand. Yeah, you can't go there with a
Yeah,
twenty
it's
thousand
going in a
dollar check.
hole
Yeah, and
for a minute.
even if you went to the bank that like the check was drawn on, right?
Yeah, yeah,
They'll
it don't
say,
matter. You gotta
"Oh,
put
you
it in a
can't
hole.
cash it here. You can cash it here, but you have to have an account." And then you have to go
Yeah.
through all that. So again, I'm just like wondering, like he didn't say like, "Yo, I would have done this." First of all,
Mhm.
I wouldn't have said like, the whole cash thing. It's all about like, yo, put it in this account, transfer
I
it
would
to
have
this
said
account.
Bitcoin. Send to his Bitcoin account.
Exactly.
Then if you said that, I'm like, all right.
But that's
But like
traceable
this
too.
is
I would have been
yeah, I
like,
know that's
yo,
terrible too.
transfer it to like
Something.
offshore or something,
Yeah,
and
yeah, but
give
like
me
do
like a 500,000 in cash, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Give me some walking money. But like
Right.
the Swiss francs is easier to trace in America than the dollar bills would be. Where are you gonna go with the Swiss francs? You gotta go somewhere and have them change it for you
That's like
to
going
dollar.
to like Mexico with Swiss francs. It's just like, what are you doing? We have the peso here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Though somebody's asking questions because it's a unique thing, and it's a
Mhm.
lot of a unique thing. So you
Yeah.
can't just I would just put this into my bank account. And no one's gonna ask any questions. I was like, say the Treasury's not gonna get involved in this and be like, wait a minute, some guy just stole $17.5 million in U.S. funds and asked for it in Swiss francs. This probably isn't related. Anyways, here you go, young
Right.
rapper. Like,
Here you go,
Get out
young
of here.
man with the tattoos on your face. You've been doing good work, you know? So there was in this film, man, there was so much that was
There's a
missed
lot of that.
here. I mean, it
Mhm.
definitely, it did feel like a Spike Lee joint, I will say that. He gave you the music, you know, he gave you the books and everything else.
Mhm.
But it wasn't, excuse me, but for me, it wasn't a true Spike Lee joint because there was a lot of walking and talking that you didn't need. If you look at like
Mhm.
old Spike Lee, right? The walking
Mhm.
and talking was about something. It was a message to that walking and talking, right?
Yeah,
There was
yeah.
something behind it, you know. In this film, the walking and talking, there wasn't really anything behind it. You know what I'm saying? Like when they were in a car, you know,
Mhm.
he was in a car with his son, he was like, "Yo, can you put your phone down?" Why do we need that? Why do we need that?
Unnecessary.
And it's a two
Unnecessary.
hour. This is a 2 hour film of
It's a
complete.
long movie.
I mean, yo,
There's
it's
a
a
there's a
void.
lot
It's a
of
void.
scenes in there that, like, the fact that, like, Denzel getting out of the car and walking through this hallway in New York City, and it's just a dog there, that's it. There's nobody bums, no homeless people, nothing. It's a nice
Yeah.
clean hallway. In New
Mm.
York City, no rats,
Oh,
nothing?
oh. You mean wait a minute? You mean the like when he was walking in the basement to like in the projects?
Yeah, 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 there's nobody down
Okay,
there?
yo, listen. I've been in situations where you know this is like I would go to a friend's house. He lives in the PJs.
Mhm.
You're hanging out. You have three places in the PJs we used to hang out: out front,
Yeah.
in the
Mhm.
basement, or on the roof.
Yes,
And when you go
yes.
into the basement of a projects, man, listen, you're going down like 3, 4 levels. You know, you have all these like lefts
You're
and
going to
rights and
hell right
everything.
there.
You,
Yeah.
I'm serious. I mean, there are people down there waiting just to like, for, you know, just to like get you. You know what I'm saying? Just like,
Yeah, to
yo,
rob
run it,
you, kill you,
right?
whatever, like, yeah.
Exactly. And it's probably like that today because you know crime doesn't
Mhm.
change, and it's just like, yo,
Yeah,
it's just I'm
especially
like,
homeless people, because
yeah,
they wanna be
man.
they're living someplace. In New
Mhm.
York City, is it Brooklyn or Bronx or whatever? Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
Yankees is Bronx. So, like, yeah,
yeah.
it's like, ain't no way, man. Ain't no way. That's not been my experience, alright?
No. And
My
you know,
grandfather used to live in the Bronx, and,
mhm,
yeah, that's not been my experience.
my grandparents they lived in the Polo Grounds, which is like Harlem, like up near like 154th
Mhm.
or whatever. I used to
Yeah.
always go cross the bridge. We were like, you know, 5 minutes, 10 minutes walking from Yankee
Mhm.
Stadium. So I used to always go down there and hang out with my boys who lived on the Grand Concourse in the Bronx in the Yankee Stadium.
Mhm.
And
Yeah,
yo, it was
yeah.
just like you had these buildings. They were like they weren't really PJs. They weren't the projects. They were like really pre-war apartment buildings, but they had these
Mhm.
weird basements. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's like a
So
dungeon. You gotta go up
yeah,
these
in a
weird
base
stairs.
exactly, man.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah. The stairs
this
are not they're not wide stairs. They're like,
no,
basically it's like some put some stone and a piece of cardboard or whatever.
yeah,
That's it. That's your staircase. Good luck getting down here safely.
yep,
Like it's
and
the water dripping, like just madness is down there. Animals, you name it.
and
Just craziness.
if there were people down there, you went down there with people who lived in the building, and then they would tell the
You
people who were
have
in the
to.
basement, like, "Yo, that's my boy. Don't mess with him." You know. And then that was
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Then you
no,
can roll
it's my
down there
man, you could
freely and
say.
everything, right?
Right?
You know.
You
But even
strangers can't walk into the apartment
mm,
buildings in New York, anywhere. I
yeah,
don't care where it
no,
is,
no,
anywhere. The nice neighborhood, the poor neighborhood. You can't walk a stranger walk into an
no,
apartment building
you can't.
and nobody
Like,
talking.
who are
Like, who the
you?
hell is this?
Like, yo, who are
Yeah.
you? What you here for?
How'd
Who
you
you
get
want to
in here?
see? You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Who you
Um,
here for?
yeah, and yeah, you know, even in the Fox series Empire.
Mhm.
What was old boy's name? I forget his name, but yo, dude, if he had to like, you know, go wreck shop, he would go wreck shop because he was in a
Yeah, no, that's
business, you
true.
know,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah. So it was just like, so I don't understand this. Maybe he evolved, you know what I'm saying? But again, in this business, in that business, you have goons because that's just part of the business. That's
The
part of the
movie could be
business, dude.
completely the movie would be completely different if there's goons added to it.
Right.
But he's trying to be the moral good guy that doesn't have any goons. Unlikely. Unlikely. In the music
Well,
business,
mhm.
unlikely.
Well, I think that, you know, what I kept thinking was this, and we're going to wrap this up. But what I kept thinking was
Mhm,
this, right? Okay, I see
mhm,
that we now know what the story is, right? And then old boy was
mhm,
like straight clowning him, like on the phone, calling him a B. calling him old.
Yeah, yeah, that
He's
was
like, yo,
funny.
get your
I
old
laughed at
day out of
that.
here. You know what I'm saying? I was just like, wow. The
I
only,
laughed.
let me just say this. The
Mm,
only really fly and
mm.
dope thing about this film was, I can't even pronounce her first name, Ilfines Hadera. Oh, that was dude, she is so hot. I'm telling you. Like
Yeah, yeah,
Denzel's
this
like, she is so hot, dude.
wife, yeah,
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 his
yeah.
wife, dude. She
I
is
seen her
like
a
that.
bunch of stuff. She was in Baywatch.
Yeah,
That's
oh,
all I was gonna say.
that was that was the jump off, dude. That was the jump
Yeah.
off. But she was also a master of none too. That was the jump
Yeah,
off.
yeah, she was in that too.
Mhm.
He was yeah.
And she was in Billions too. She was an old boy too, but she was in
Yeah, she's
Billions.
the secretary of Billions.
She played a lesbian in
That's
Billions,
all I'm
yo.
gonna
But
say. Yeah, she's the secretary. I know that one on Billions.
yeah, you know what I'm
I was gonna
saying?
say, yeah, that's
But
all I'm gonna say. Yeah.
this film, yeah, man, it's again, it looked great. But other than that, I don't know about it, man. We are talking. Let's wrap this up, man. We are talking about highest to lowest. This is a
Yeah.
Spike Lee joint starring Denzel Washington, and Jeffrey Wright was also in it. It's available on Apple TV. Keo, what are you going to rate this film? And be honest, please.
I'm giving it a 3, man. That's the thing. I like the movies, how it looked,
Hmm.
and I like the actors, but like the acting was abysmal. And I think the thing that irked me the most about it is because it's about a topic that I know, like I know for very well.
Yeah.
I've been in the music business a long time. I've
Hmm.
done stuff. I know this very well. This is not how any of this works.
No.
Especially somebody at the top who's trying to sell his company. Oh hell no.
Yeah.
he if you had an issue of goons in his company trying to steal from him, that would have made more sense. Local rapper successfully steals $17 million off of you. Where and nobody dies? Nah, I
No
don't know
way.
about that. Nobody
No way.
dies? Nah, I don't know
Someone
about
gets
that.
a little
This
shrapnel
guy,
in their eye. That's it.
this guy hurt people in your family and your friends, and nothing happens. $17 million?
No. Mm-mm.
Unlikely.
No.
Un-
Mm-mm.
I listen. All right, I'm not gonna say anything, but I'll just say unlikely. That's been
Yeah.
my experience. Highly unlikely.
Yeah.
So it was a 3. It could have been so much better. I think the premise was good. The concept of it, stealing from somebody in the music business, like that's okay. I think it would have been better if this was like a hostile takeover inside the company,
Yeah.
and
Right.
he
Yep.
and these people that he knows did this to him. That would have been more interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And it would have made more sense that he actually loses the company completely, and then he's survived and started from scratch. That would have made more sense. But having local rapper down the street with no team on his end pulled all of this off, where he's got nobody, no connections, nothing. Talking about the
Mm-hmm.
people in the hood helping him. Word,
No.
like, come on.
Mm.
So people in the hood helped you steal $17 million and nobody talked. And no one's bragging about it. You didn't have to cut anybody out. You got to keep the $17.5 million, and
Yeah.
it's just in your room underneath your bed. F out of here, man. Like I can't. I cannot.
No.
The
No.
premise was stupid. The idea of it was good. If it got a couple tweaks and the acting was better, it probably could have been something interesting. But like, good lord, man. Especially because it's a topic that I know very well. I
Yeah.
spent from high school until now. I've been in it. All right. No, that's not how any of this works.
Doesn't work like that, man. It just doesn't, man. You know what? I'm also going to give it a 3. I think two
Mhm.
things could have happened here. I think they had that avenue, and that's the avenue they took, right? I think
Mhm.
that I thought that first that his bodyguard may have been in, because when he texted old boy, I didn't
That
know
would
who he
have been
was
better.
texting. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
another sort of like avenue they could have traveled down is like, go through all of this, right? Because they found the money pretty early. This is a 2-hour film, mind you, right?
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah.
okay, this happened. Like, find the guy,
Mhm.
rehabilitate him, because he was like, yo, he's kind of hot, right? So I think that would have been a dope angle, and then they would have like
That would have been
made
interesting
money.
too.
You know what I'm saying? The
Yeah.
whole nine. But
Mhm.
he, you know, it doesn't seem like anyone consulted like, real music moguls to say, yo, how does this work this way? And Spike Lee should have known that anyway. He's from Brooklyn. He's from the streets. He knows what's going on.
Ask
You know what I'm
ASAP how
saying?
this works.
Yeah,
You have a
exactly.
little
Right.
reference to it.
Yo,
He's
dude,
in the movie.
exactly.
Ask
Right,
him.
exactly. Even ask Ice Spice.
Right?
You
She's
know,
in
just
the hood.
like, yo, this isn't really how this works. You know, you go into the what, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Is the whole premise of
No.
this movie was crazy, and I understand that, yo. You know what? Um, you know, Apple TV was like, yo, this is Spike Lee. You know, Spike Lee did She's Gotta Have It as a series on Netflix. And I
Mhm.
think he wanted like so much money, and they were like, yo, we canceled it, right? You know, and it was a
Yeah,
great
yeah.
series, right? So,
Mhm.
Spike is not cheap. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? And
yeah.
Denzel isn't cheap either. So, there you have it. So, yeah, this movie could have been so much better. We both gave it a 3. If you want to go check it out, it's on Apple TV. It's beautifully shot. It's
I
Spike
highly
Lee.
suggest
It
don't
looks
check it
great.
out.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. I'm surprised that A24 was a part of this too, but money goes all the way around.
I
So
got I got questions, man.
yeah,
I got
lots of
lots of
questions.
questions.
It is
Did you not watch
available.
this thing before you released it? You should have watched it before you released it, man.
Yo,
Like,
listen, highest to lowest, available on Apple TV Plus. Go check it out. Well, there you have it. Thanks for checking out another episode of the Behind the Groove podcast. I am Basil Barrington.
I am DJ Keo.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. And until next time, peace.
All right.